Well, hey, hi, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dumb Dad podcast. My name is Kevin, and you're a dumb dad.
Oh, boom roasted. You're all dumb parents. You're just like us. It's the Mailbag episode.
Hello, everyone. We have been asking you guys to write in for some of your dumb parenting moments. Make us feel not so dumb.
We all do it.
You guys have
We
delivered.
all do it.
We've got this mailbag for you. We're going to read a few of them right now. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about them.
That's right.
Again, you guys sent these in through our Instagram accounts at the Dumb Dads, or you've emailed us dumbdadpod@gmail.com. If anybody's wondering, we'll say it again at the end, but just let you know.
But again, thank you for sending them in. These are super fun to read. This is exactly why we do what we do. It helps us normalize all the mistakes we make as parents, and it's fun to poke fun at ourselves. So here we go.
Here we go. This first one is from Mallory. Hi, Mallory.
Hi, Mallory.
It says, hi, dads. Been following you on socials for a while now, and so glad I finally got into the podcast. Incredibly relatable and funny. Although on the daily, I'm sure my husband and I do stupid stuff while parenting our children. However, I had a recent moment that made us both laugh, and I thought you might enjoy it. Here we go.
Here we go.
By way of background, my son, 4.5, has been very into staying into his daytime clothes for bedtime. I've had this as well. So much so, one day he spilled a yogurt pouch all over his clothes and we needed to get a new outfit. Given it was 7 p.m., I suggested we get into our pajamas. He was horrified at this notion, demanded daytime clothes, and selected the only pair of pants in his drawer. Suit pants. So rather than a pair of comfy flannels, we opted in to suit pants all night. What a gentleman.
For high merino wool, pinstripe, no break in the pant leg, trousers.
That's nice.
That's nice.
Someone comes knocking at the door. Who is that at this hour?
Yeah. If it's money, I'm ready for it.
What is it? Speak quickly. It's my bedtime, man. I give this as background to our recent parenting snafu. On the day after Halloween morning, we're all tired. Chocolate, hangover, and maybe not firing on all cylinders.
Sorry, was that a chocolate hangover or chocolate, hangover?
Chocolate dash hangover. Chocolate dash hungover. I get up with my son and get him ready for school most days. But on this day, I had an early meeting. So I did some of his routine. And when passing him off to my husband, who was just waking up, I gave the rundown of where we were. Pants and undies are on the bed. Lunch is packed. He's had breakfast, etc. I go to work. Kiddo goes off to school. Well, a few hours later, I'm talking to my husband, and somehow I come to ask, wait, did you not change him? No, I thought he was dressed. No, I gave you the pants and undies. They're sitting on the bed. Yep, he never put on the pants and undies, and in fact was sent to school in his overnight wet pull-up.
Oh, no.
And the daytime clothes.
In slacks.
And slacks. I couldn't get him to change out of the night before. I had to email the teacher and ask if she could so kindly dress my child. We both got.
Would you please take his emergency tuxedo out of his backpack and put him in that?
It's not in his backpack. It's in a plastic bag on a hanger.
In his briefcase.
It's pressed. We both had a good laugh, and for a 4-year-old who is so particular and routine-oriented, I really can't believe he didn't correct our mistake. Let's blame this on Candy and the preschooler. Thanks for the show and the laughs. Dummy Mummy, Mallory.
Mallory, thank you very much. Down with Candy. It's Candy's fault.
I don't think I've ever read Dummy Mummy before.
Dummy
That's
Mummy?
really funny.
That is pretty funny. Dummy Mummy.
That's really funny. That's so understandable. The miscommunication that happens in the morning is real. That happens a lot.
For sure. And, it's like the story really points you in the direction of going, come on, Dad.
Yeah.
Just think about it for a second, man. But when your kid walks out of the room and he's wearing slacks,
you're probably just
thinking like, my reaction is, yeah, I don't have to wear sweats today.
Yeah.
I'm inspired.
Yeah.
So he's thinking like, this kid's dialed in.
Good for you, man. Good for you. Dress for the school you want.
That's right. Dress for the degree you wish to obtain.
I had a similar snafu at school this week, actually. My kids got home from school, and my daughter said to me, this is a short, quick dumb dad moment. My daughter said to me, I got to go to Julian's classroom today, my youngest son's. And I was like, oh, you did? That's fun. What did you get to go to his classroom for? And she's like, well, because I had his water bottle, and I just assumed his backpack had mine. And she was right. And she was like, I went in and switched out the water bottles and went back. And I was like, oh, I put them in the wrong backpack.
Yeah.
Sure. And then I caught myself doing it the next day. The next day.
My kids catch us doing it before they get out to the car. And they'll, wait, why is this water bottle in my bag? And they act like, how are we surviving as children? You guys can't even put the right water bottle in.
Reactions they have.
Reactions
so I don't know how that happened, Mallory, that the kid was like, I mean, when I sit down, it sounds like a waterbed, but yeah, I guess I can go to school in this.
Yeah, cool. You're going to want to dry clean these slacks when I'm done with them for the day because they are abused at this point. Let's get to the next one. Ready?
Let's go. This next one is from Melanie. Hi, Melanie. She wrote, prepare to feel much better about yourself.
Hooray!
All right. Last March.
That's a hard sell, Melanie.
Let's see. Last March, I had the day off and had decided not to set my alarm because I didn't need to get up. When I did, luxuriously awake at 10 a.m. Wow. Don't hate me, she says.
Only in dreams.
I saw I had multiple missed texts and a missed phone call from my 16-year-old daughter. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
The text,
boy, that took a turn, didn't it?
Yep. The texts were referring to them being under a lockdown for an active shooter, but quickly being given reassurance that it was a false alarm and that the lockdown had been lifted. I ran into the living room to talk to my husband, my daughter's stepfather, and I found him shaking and upset. Whew. He told me that he had been texting with my daughter for the last hour throughout the lockdown drill. Could have woke her. I mean,
oh no!
I mean, you know,
yes, that was an option.
I mean, she never.
Maybe he wasn't thinking clearly in the moment. She wasn't thinking at all. She was completely asleep.
Well, let's just keep reading. I had trouble getting past that part. But when I got a hold of my daughter finally and apologized for not being there for her, she replied that her dad and stepmother also failed to respond to her texts, and it was only my husband who was there for her.
Please stop reading this story.
Wow. As a parent, you never want to see those messages and know that your child is feeling fear, and you tell yourself you would be there for them. But I think we successfully demonstrated on that day that each child needs 4 parents so that they can have at least 25% chance of having a parent reply to a text.
No.
I know it's kind of a heavy downer moment, but it's become something we laugh about in our family because it's one of my biggest parenting fails, and the child is never letting me live it down. Oh, no, absolutely.
No, yeah, you're never going to live that down. And I will say this. Congratulations to you to turning a very scary core memory moment, I'm going to assume, and something you can laugh about because that's what we do here, right? It's like the things that you make huge mistakes on, or you don't feel great in the moment, look back on and go, what an idiot, that was so stupid. In hindsight, everything in hindsight, right? But wow, glad she was okay, obviously, but
it's just funny to me that her husband was like, I mean, she said she wanted to sleep in.
I don't know when she sent that, but I guarantee you she hasn't slept in past 8:15 since.
She still doesn't need an alarm. I'll tell you that.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, whoa. Melanie, thank you for sharing. I had
I was like tense. My legs were tense the whole time you were reading that.
I was in a lockdown. I don't know if you listen to this podcast.
I do. Yeah. Usually I'm here.
I'm just never talking to you. But I was in my child's school during a lockdown. And that was crazy. And the only reason I bring it up is because I think I had a moment to have a dumb dad moment when this was going on, because I was like alone in the parent center. I was the only one in there, and it's lockdown, so you're in there. And then after a while, we've learned that it was like someone not on campus. It was a police situation, but it was somebody not on campus. So for the most part, we were pretty safe. And the principal called me, and she was like, "You okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And she was like, "If you want, I can get the custodian to come, and he'll escort you off the premises." I was like, "You think I'm gonna leave my
yeah, the school
daughter?
where my daughter's here. I'm not gonna leave the school."
Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay.
Yeah, it got kind of scary here. Can I just climb the fence and get the hell
I'm
out of here?
so bored. Can I just go?
The internet sucks here. You guys have no
Yeah.
reception.
I'll stay, but like, what's the Wi-Fi password?
The staff Wi-Fi password.
Yeah.
please.
Don't give me guest.
Don't give me that runaround. Thank you for saying that in. That was a scary story.
That was a roller coaster ride.
This next one is sent in from Chip from Virginia.
Hey, Chip.
Chip writes, "Hello, fellow dumb dads.
Hello.
I have a relatively small dumb dad moment for y'all, although it occurred recently enough that the ramifications may provide otherwise.
Okay.
A couple Sundays ago, I took my 6-year-old son to D.C. for the day to visit the National Arboretum and other things. For some reason, he really loves riding in my car. Nothing special, just a Toyota Camry.
Oh, okay.
Not a sponsor yet,
Way
but
flex.
I'm sure." So rather than load the minivan for just the two of us, I decided to drive my car. Sure. I mean, here's the thing. Kids are hilarious too, right? How many times do your kids notice cars yet? My son will be like, "Dad, what is that car right there?" I'm like, "That's a Honda Civic, and the guy's got like a lot of stickers on it." But he's like, "Look at that car. That car looks so cool." It's like he rattle canned his wheels that color.
They see the cars they shouldn't.
Which is so funny to me. Anyway, so I love that the kid's just like loves riding in his dad's car.
Yeah.
Dad's driving a car and I'm in it. This is so cool. I mean, kids are great. Shortly after we get on the road, he comments, "My gas gauge is low and that we should get gas." By the way, he's never said anything about the gas gauge before.
So maybe listen.
The gauge read, yeah. This is the point where you cut to a commercial on like a reality TV show, and you should understand this is what the episode's going to be about.
Thanks, bud, but I think I know how to drive my car.
The new Swiffer.
Cut
The
to
ga- the
not a word to your mother. Wow. Nestle's got a new flavor of
Cookies and cream crisps. The gauge read over a quarter tank, and I know my car can easily make it to DC and back. I tell him such and try to deflect his repeated comments. We talked about this the other day about things like your kids where like they start asking a question to you, you answer them, and then they like ask about 100 different questions about it.
Yeah.
We already answered the question.
Yeah.
We can make it to DC and back. I've done it 35 times. Conversation over. And then the kid's going to it's going to be a half an hour of it, right? Get to DC, have a great day. But on the drive home, we get stuck in some very heavy traffic.
Mm-hmm.
My gauge is now below the 1/4 tank line, and my son starts noting this again. I deflect again, saying, "It's fine. We'll be home in like 20 minutes. At this point, I feel like I should say, I didn't want to get gas for 2 reasons.
Okay, I'm just curious.
I know.
This is a sticking point.
This is really where the dad situation lies, right? Stations closer to DC are much more expensive. Yes, hot dad take here. Yeah. And I'm a rewards member at the station by my house, and I really like my free coffee every 4 months. Darn it.
Oh, wow.
Hot dad take. Anyway, he then goes back to his iPad. The traffic turns out to be way worse than I thought. And without even thinking about his reaction, I say, "Man, at this rate, we'll get home by tomorrow." Another mistake.
Yep.
Making a dad joke. This kid doesn't know that. This sets off another round of get gas, to which I then say, "We're still fine. And besides, the gas light isn't even on yet." Big pause.
Buddy.
I mean, this guy's just like cramming both of his feet into his mouth.
Yeah.
Then he says, "There's a gas light? What's the gas light?" And so on and so on. No deflecting possible after that. For the record, we made it home fine, and I pulled into the gas station at home to satisfy him. Like I said, everything seems fine so far, but he hasn't had a chance to ride in my car since then, so we'll see. Yours in dumbness, Chip from Virginia.
Chip.
Thank you, Chip. The amount of sort of earnest mistakes that he made in a row that's that sent the kid into this spiral. It's so funny to me.
What's the gaslight? The light, it's a light to tell you you're in trouble.
Yeah, that you should have got gas when it was getting. I mean, hold on.
The gaslight means turn off the AC and open the windows.
And I hope you're not.
We don't
in
have the
traffic,
bandwidth for this.
which really is like the worst for gas. If we were going 100 right now, we wouldn't have a problem. We could go an ounce and get all the way to Vegas.
Yeah.
The problem is we're idling.
Idling, just eating it. Oh my gosh.
I love the his kid's on the iPad, so he's literally not even conscious of his kid being in the car.
Yeah.
In the sense that he says out loud, God, at this rate we're gonna get home tomorrow, out of frustration. The kid's like, whoa, it's school tomorrow. Yeah, we need gas. That's great. Thank you, Chip. Thank you for being dumb and sharing it with us.
And thanks, Toyota Camry, for being an unofficial sponsor of the podcast.
But also just like,
they're not really a sponsor.
yeah, gas efficient though, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Quarter tank from wherever they were to DC and back in heavy traffic.
All right. So this last one wishes to remain anonymous.
Okay. Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous, thank you for sending.
So, all right. Here's the story from Anonymous. Not the hacker.
Do you know that for sure?
Let me see the
Well, then there's a Gmail address.
Oh, yeah. The hacker. I was wrong.
My computer's doing some weird stuff right now.
Anonymous hacker at AOL.com. That is surprising.
You're paying for it?
Our twin boys have been experiencing itchy butts recently.
Okay.
Like really itchy. We went to the pharmacist and they suggested trying a deworming treatment for threadworm.
That's been all for us here at the Dumb Dad Podcast and the Dumb Dad Parenting User Submissions episode.
Gross, but as far as worms go, at least they're tiny. The treatment is a one-time medication for the whole family, followed up by boiling everything in the house.
Hold on. Just give me a second, Kevin.
Nope.
You went from 0 to worms really quickly.
I told you. I warned you. We didn't notice a huge improvement in the butt scratching, so the pharmacist said we should try once more. If that didn't work, then we go to our doctors. Prepare yourself. I just want to point out they wrote prepare yourselves. I'm not saying that. No, I have read it, and I can back up
That I
the
should
prepare
myself.
yourself.
Okay.
2 weeks later, I was putting the boys to bed and had been in their room for an hour or so. Everyone was settled down, and I was lying in one of their beds waiting for them both to fall asleep. And I heard my wife get back from work, and she headed to the bathroom. Moments later, I'm receiving a message with a short video attached. Yeah. It looked like 2 to 3 inch garden worms swimming in our toilet. Happy as can be. I had been on board with the deep clean, and I've taken the medicine for threadworm. We've all been scrubbing our hands and sanitizing like it's 2020, but being a dumb dad, I wasn't convinced I actually had worms. The luxury of denial ended right there. I had massive worms. In fact, I was pretty sure I could feel them wiggling as I was lying there. Hold on, it's not done. I have since been to the doctor. Don't worry, I made him laugh. I felt this was important. It isn't threadworm. It's probably roundworm. And we're now on an extreme dose of that one-time medication. There could be thousands of them inside of us. There's something I'm hoping you can clear up for me, though. The doctor
I doubt it.
Yeah, here we go. The doctor didn't immediately blame my children like I'm inclined to. I know how much they love to scratch their butts. I've seen, this is wild. I've seen poop being wielded like as a crayon, which is, I mean, kids do that.
I don't know, man.
No, well, it depends on the age. But some kids reach back there with the diapers and then hold the triumphant hand up, and you're like, you have to get across the room in record time to grab that little wrist.
Yeah.
The fecal oral route is on display daily. My doctor was more inclined to blame the trip to California my wife and I took for a wedding in July.
How dare you?
Plus the grandparents. we went without the kids between San Francisco and Gurnerville. Is that
yes.
Is that how you
I
say
know
it?
that. It is, yeah, Gurnerville, because that's
Gurnerville.
known as the West Coast Worm Belt.
Yes, there it is.
So they crossed it.
Yep. We had every food truck, went swimming in many rivers, and spent a good chunk of time in hot tubs. He thinks this is the more likely source, and we're to blame. What do you think? Is he fair to blame your fair state? I didn't get medieval diseases until I had kids, so I'm pretty sure it's safe to blame exposure on the toddlers. Yeah, I mean, I've been living in California for 10 plus years. I mean, we're not a buttworm state. I don't know anybody who's gotten that. Thousands of toilet worms.
I'm just kind of just processing everything you said out loud to me.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. You didn't give you said to hang on to something. You should have given me the Samuel L. Jackson line, hold on to your butts.
Hold on to your butts.
Because holy worm city in your butt area. That is a wild, wild story.
It's wild because, like, I think about myself in my 20s, and I was just like, man, like, how you just behave when you're, like, living on your own, and
I'm not willing to go with you until you finish the story.
No, you will. How gross you can be, because, like, you're just like, whatever. But then you have kids.
You're kind of just glossing over a lot of things here.
But no, nothing like this. And then you have kids, and you realize how gross it can be.
The key thing that they said is they swam in like a bunch of rivers. I mean, watch one survival show where they're like, when you come across water just running downstream, you don't just drink the water because of some dead animal that's lying in the water upstream, and you're just drinking the water. You got to boil the water. You have to boil the water, pour it into a pool, and then swim in it once it's cooled down. That's what I'm saying.
All right, Bear Grylls. Thank you for that submission.
I can't even.
I hope you weren't on the toilet for that last one.
Oh, or eating dinner. Apologies to anybody there.
Who's eating dinner listening to the podcast?
Nobody after that story.
Yeah.
What? I can't believe it.
I don't know. Visit California. Wash your hands.
That's going to do it for us.
That'll do it for us. Thanks so much for the submissions. Keep them coming, and we'll keep making mailbags. Thank you all so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?